What's up, everybody? Matt Gajeski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're here to talk about some college basketball bets ahead of Wednesday, February the 15th. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. And if you're listening on podcast, please leave a rating and review over there as well. And we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. They have a phenomenal limited time offer for you guys that you're going to want to take advantage of right now. As you can see on the overlay on the screen, you can bet $5 on any pregame money line. Now, this bet needs to win. It needs to. But if it does, you're turning that $5 into $150 right away. So the best way to take advantage of this is head over to DraftKings Sportsbook. You can do that by clicking the link in the video description below or just heading over there. And then find a money line of your choosing. My recommendation would be taking one of the big favorites on the money line. Tonight, you've got a couple. Furman is a massive favorite in college basketball. You also have Virginia over Louisville. I'm going to recommend the other side of that game, but against the spread. So perhaps you could still play both, have a little bit of middling action. Oakland is also a 14.5-point favorite over IUPUI. Those are also massive favorites you can hit on the money line in college basketball to give yourself a really good chance of turning that $5 into $150 with a pregame money line win. The legal age for gambling in most states is 21. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we move forward. But before we do so, we look behind, and we've got to face the music a little bit today. Yesterday was rough. To recap the games we played, I actually added another one right before tip-off, which was a loser too. We played Butler plus 10.5. Actually, you know what? Let's frame this a different way. So typically when we evaluate our bets, we look at line movement and we look at the shot quality score because that actually grades the shots taken on the floor and gives us an analytical score and a percent chance that the bet won. So we played 5 games. They all 5 didn't cover. Only one of them had a shot quality score with a cover. So this immediately is not good. That was NC State. They were +1. They did not cover, but the shot quality score was actually 77-75 in favor of NC State. So that's the only one here that I'm comfortable with. From there, we had Michigan +1.5. No cover, no shot quality cover. Kansas State +1. No cover, no shot quality cover. Butler +10.5. No cover, no shot quality cover. And I added DePaul late when we got the Nick Ongenda news and the Andre Curbelo news. They still weren't able to cover. Not in real life, not per shot quality. So got to face the music here. Play like a champion. Got to be better tomorrow, which is what we'll aim to do today. No excuses. Just got to dive in, find the right spots, the right matchups. Yesterday was not that. Moving forward. Today, we've got a bunch of games to cover. It's a big slate and a really important slate. We have Marquette taking on Xavier for essentially number 1 in the Big East. That is not a game we'll play. We'll start with the Big 12, where we have TCU taking on Iowa State. And this is a rematch. In the first game, the score ended 69-67, and that was the official score that was expected. It was an Iowa State win. They were playing on the road, which is key for them, and TCU was healthy. Now, both these teams do have advantages. They're actually both really good teams. In overall KenPom power rankings, TCU is 22nd. Iowa State is 17th. You do have the chance to buy low here on TCU. Mike Miles is expected to return. He's their main point guard. And Eddie Lampkin's expected to return as well. He generally is going to play the 5 for this team, and he gives them quite a bit of size. Eddie Lampkin, 6'11". He's been out 2 of the last 3 games. In the one game he played, really limited with that ankle. He actually had to miss the subsequent game after that. But he's going to give TCU a pretty solid size advantage here over Iowa State. Iowa State does have Osuni at their 5 generally, but he only plays about 50% of the minutes, 55%. I'm not really sure why. I think he's much better than the other options they have, and Iowa State's better with him on the floor. But for whatever reason, they don't play him. And now that we have TCU at full strength, they do have advantages here, especially on the inside. With Eddie Lampkin and company, they're 59th in 2-point percentage. Iowa State is 147th in interior defense. Again, I think they'd be much better if they just would commit to Osuni, but they won't. And then on the other side, Iowa State wins a lot through their 3-point shooting, which, I mean, still isn't great. They're 138th. It's above average, but nothing to really write home about. But TCU is excellent perimeter defense. They rank 32nd in 3 points defended. TCU also 16th in turnovers forced. Iowa State does not have a strong point guard. They're 201st in turnovers committed. It's a pretty wide margin with TCU getting 4.5. This is moving to 3.5 in some spots. We were lucky enough to lock this in at 4.5 last night, but one I would probably take now, and one there's still probably going to be some line value hanging throughout the day. There's uncertainty with Mike Miles and Eddie Lampkin playing, but it seems pretty clear that these two guys are going to give it a go tonight. Watch me eat my words. Next game, we will go to Arkansas, Texas A&M, battle in the SEC. It's another spot where we're going to back the road team. We have this +3.5. It's moving to +3 in some spots. These teams are fairly evenly matched. They're just balanced in opposite directions. Arkansas is elite on defense. They rank 15th there. On the other side, Texas A&M is 82nd. Conversely, Texas A&M has been 31st on offense, and then Arkansas is 116th in that category. But I'm having some trouble figuring out why Texas A&M is ranked so highly on offense. They're 135th in 2-point percentage, and the farther out you get, the worse they are at shooting. This team's awful at shooting. 254th in 3-point percentage. I'm really struggling to see how this team is so high up offensively, and not to mention, so they can't shoot threes. They score a lot inside. That's exactly where Arkansas excels. They're 24th in interior defense. Conversely, Arkansas, the only place they do score well is inside. They're 32nd there. Texas A&M's pretty solid at defending that area, but Arkansas still has a slight edge over them. It's 32 versus 34 in terms of offense, defense. Arkansas on top in that matchup. And lastly, Arkansas got back Nick Smith. This is huge for this team. I mean, prior to the season, not only is he one of the top recruits in the country, but expected NBA lottery pick coming back to your team, played 17 minutes. Expect this to rise down the stretch as he gets his feet back under him. The addition of a player like that to this offense is worth more than a point to the spread, and you're already seeing Arkansas take money here. So we'll back the Razorbacks in a buy low spot against Texas A&M, getting healthier down the stretch here before the SEC tournament. Next game, we head to the Big Ten. The bane of my existence recently. Holy smokes, I've been getting beat up in the Big Ten. And it's mainly been my Wisconsin Badgers. Bet them against Northwestern. They blow a 17-point lead. But against them against Michigan, they rightfully cover. So tough scene here. But we're going back. We've got to right our wrongs. Indiana opened as a dog against Northwestern. They were +1. It's quickly moving the other direction, seeing it go through 0, -1, -1.5 in some spots. They hold a lot of advantages over Northwestern, particularly on offense. They're 34th. Northwestern is 18th on defense, but I'm not really worried about that. Northwestern's primary defensive strength is the inside, 17th there. Well, they're going to have to contend with Trace Jackson Davis. Not easy for any team. And then Indiana does have the 3-point shooting ability. Sometimes you see these teams in the Big Ten with strong big men. They can be doubled inside. And then when they kick out, they just don't have the 3-point shooting to take advantage of opposing teams doubling big men. Indiana has that. They have Jalen Hood-Schifino. This team is 15th in 3-point percentage in the country. They just don't shoot a ton of them. But Northwestern is 180th in perimeter defense. So their team very much balanced towards defending the paint. They'll allow you to shoot, and Indiana can actually do that. On the other side, Northwestern is really struggling on offense this year. They're 287th in 2-point percentage, 293rd in 3-point percentage. This team cannot score. Indiana's 60th on defense. Nothing to really write home about, but they're pretty solid there. Indiana has height advantages with Trace Jackson Davis. The only issue is Race Thompson may not play in this game. I think he's a little more questionable than he was in the previous matchup, but he's a big part of their interior defense. So obviously getting him back would be huge. Indiana's taking money regardless. So I kind of am expecting him to play, but either way, I think this is one we can take against the spread. Last one here. We're going to head to the ACC. So this is just purely a number play here. You're not going to find any advantage that tells you Louisville is going to win this game. Basically, it comes down to this opened at 17.5. It's too many points. Virginia is a solid team, but they play with one of the slowest paces in the country. In terms of pace overall, The league average is just over 70.0. And as you can see, Virginia is 64.7 and Louisville 69.5. They don't play fast either. Louisville already can't score, but Virginia in this spot, 17.5 points is an immense gap for a game with a total of just 127.5. And really the one thing pointing in Louisville's direction is they've played a little bit better recently. You look at their most recent games, they only lost by 8 to Miami. They actually put up 85 points. So that's awesome. They got blown out by Pitt, not good. They lost by 3 to Florida State, and they beat Georgia Tech. They also lost by 14 to Notre Dame, 10 to Boston College. Over the last 6 games, Louisville's played a little bit better, and I really want to emphasize a little bit here. Just to play on the number, we expect it to move at 17.5. I think you can back Louisville just fine and look towards the home dog. That'll do it for us today. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these plays. Any other ones on the board? Would love to hear your thoughts on Bama, Tennessee, Xavier Marquette. It is an awesome college basketball night. Otherwise, if you'd like to follow me, I am on Twitter at Matt_Gajeski. Feel free to reach out to me there. We'll be back tomorrow talking more bets. Until then, good luck, everyone. We'll see you again next time.